Yeah, great people out there. Welcome to this episode of Mind of Business with DB Adebayo. It's 8 a.m. Lagos, Nigeria. And this morning we'll be waking one guy up there, chat with him, have to learn a few things from him. He's no other person than Lekan Ajisafe. He's an entrepreneur, someone we'll interact with today. Join me as we wake this guy up this morning, as we start our day with this guy. Guys, please just join me. Hello.
Hi, Debo.
How is everything?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Fine.
How was your night?
Fine, man.
I hope I'm not the one pulling you out of bed.
Well, no. I'm just getting ready. How are you?
I'm good.
Fine.
I'm good.
Nice one. Now, please sit down.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
thanks for having me.
Crib.
Oh, it's good to be here.
Yeah, man.
Thanks for having me. Yeah.
How's it doing?
We're good. Man. So when did you wake up this morning? I thought I was going to wake you up.
Well, no. But naturally, my day starts like 6:30 a.m.
Oh.
Yes, so you can see me holding my phone. I'm trying to catch up with my chat with my partners. And
Interesting.
meeting for today, you know. So, yeah, so the day actually starts earlier than before
You get into the normal roller coaster walk.
Yeah.
Okay, but then I must say you have a beautiful place here.
Thank you.
You have a beautiful place here.
Thank you very much.
Okay, well, like I said, this is Lekan Ajisafe. I will be spending the rest of today with Lekan. We want to know what makes Lekan Lekan. And to get into the meat of that, I think we should just allow him to prepare for work first, right?
Yes.
Or you feel we should just get going with our discussion? I think we should get prepared for work.
I think I'm already going to get dressed now.
Okay.
Let me go prepare.
All right.
Then we'll start talking.
No problems.
All right.
So I'll wait for you. I'll be right here.
All right.
I'll be right here.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Like I said, we'll be spending time with Lekan this day, and we'll be asking him questions. But as we wait for him, I just think I should take a tour of his living room. Or what do you think? Let's see his lifestyle. Let's see what he's made up of, right? He's got a beautiful place there. I can see this. This is supposed to be a dining set, I want to assume, but what I can find on this now is actually a laptop, which can give a signal to someone like me that Lekan might be a workaholic. If what you find on his dining set is actually his laptop, that talks about this kind of person. And this is a beautiful piece about his family. And that also talks about the fact that family comes in first. Family is important to this guy. I can see his golf clubs there. That shows that he's somebody that also takes care of himself by, playing golf. And, and when you play golf, you know what you do? You refresh the mind. It helps you think well, straight, and it helps you network with other people. So we'll wait for him and we'll just take it up from there.
That was good. That's another discussion. Andy, I'll have to go now. So I'm going to brief you, but it's a good news. So, but just to let you know that it's not always just so roller coaster like you think. Just start working in markets and then let's see how the renewal will go. Sorry.
No. I know this is what your day looks like, right?
Just the way it is.
Well, it's good to note, Yeah, I understand business owners spend time on the phone. Some other people spend time on the phone too, but they deal with different things, All right, let's go. I saw something here, right?
Yeah.
Which looks like a prayer to me. Bless this home with love and laughter.
Yeah.
You're going to talk to me about that.
Yes.
You're going to talk to me about that.
When you come in, and then, home is home.
Yeah.
And the way
It's all right.
The way you actually get your home ready. Thank you. The way you get your home ready.
Yeah.
Up into the car.
Okay. Thank you.
So for home, it's a way to actually inspire you. As a man, a very busy man and a family man, you have to keep your mind in a way that you make sure that when you get into the house, there should be some level of inspiration. And also it's a prayer.
All right, yeah, the conversation continues, and the essence of this is for us to get to know who Lekan is, what makes him who he is, and for us to be able to learn one or two things from his personal person, his personal being, and his professional, being, and all of that. Okay, so I want to find out, what can you remember about your growing up that you feel is part of the foundational strength that you have today?
My growing up, yeah, I'll tell you, I have a very humble background, and my growing up, in the real sense, cannot really be termed as one of the best. I'll put it that way. I'm one of the people that God has favored, so immensely. Number one thing I can remember is actually my mom. My mom's value, my dad's value. My mom always tell you, I'm a Yoruba man, say, Rocho Meniti Wanshi.
Remember the child of whom you are.
Remember the child of whom you are. So when I gain admission into the University of Lagos, then she'll be like, you're going to school now. Remember the son of whom you are. Rocho Meniti Wanshi.
And how did that affect you in your own personal space?
It does. It did a lot, because when I was in that space, all I remember is, as a young man, you want to do all the youthful, fragrances and deodorants and all that. We have to go through that. That's life. But anytime I'm sort of getting into the borderline, I try to just remember that. So it just crosses.
It's like a
mind.
check.
It's like a check. So it brings me back to my senses, and I'll just I'll just reverse. So I remember during the university days of Aluta, of these and all that. I'm sure you also have a bit of that. That's why I tell people these days that for the youth have to go through all that. Just let them express themselves. Let them enjoy it. Let them go through this. It's part of learning, part of growth. But what we need to do as leaders, is to keep them in check, is to watch them and to make sure that they don't go astray. Not going astray is what really matters. So talking about my growing up, that was one of it. And then my dad. My dad is, I would say, he's a perfectionist. My dad,
but close to it.
Very close to it. Disciplinarian. He was a civil servant in Lagos. My dad is the type that wouldn't talk to you, but is watching you. So you just need to do the right thing. He doesn't. His own way of checking you is to, scold you. So that's the only understanding he knows.
And all of that helped you in some ways.
It actually helped, because that's what shaped the growing up. That's what build the man you're seeing today. Those values of integrity, values of self-check, values of truth, values of honesty. So those are the things you don't really have to be a rich man to be honest. You don't really have to be a big man to have integrity. And you don't really have to be a rich man, to do the right thing. Doing the right thing should be in you.
Okay, well, a whole lot of questions I'll be asking today. Like if the name Lekan Ajisafe is mentioned, we can trace that to one particular industry. And apart from that industry, I see that there are other moves by the side too that we can talk about. But then I wouldn't want to bore our audience with too much talk right now. As you can see, we just commenced the trip to his office. We want to see what the day looks like also when he gets to work. But don't forget what I said the other time. I saw his dining set, and the only item I met on that dining set was a laptop. That speaks volume. So we continue from there when we get to the office. Okay. I'll be right back.
Thank you.
Okay, here we go. Oh, Lovely, lovely, lovely. This is the front office, right?
Yes.
Okay.
The front office.
Quality, quality. If I have to give you another name, I'll just call you Mr. Quality.
Yes, so we have this ISO certification.
Great.
And,
The one you got 2015?
yeah.
Yeah.
9001.
Okay.
We have European certification.
Yes.
It's all about quality.
Mm.
Your management system quality,
Yeah.
your business quality,
Yeah.
and then, everything.
All of that in the realm of quality. Yes, well, you can't even operate. Good morning. Good morning.
So please, this is my office.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Please have your seat.
Yeah. Yes, so we're actually talking about something before we got in here. Our audience will have to get used to the fact that we just keep talking while we get things done, you know.
Yes.
You were telling me about quality. And before we hopped out of the car, you talked about insurance, aviation, you know, special risk. Yes, when I hear aviation, what comes to mind is special risk. So how has it been?
Well, in Nigeria, people still like to see things the usual way. And I'll tell you.
Don't mind me, I'm listening to you. I just also want to appreciate some of the things I have here. Go ahead.
So we, in the aviation insurance business in Nigeria, it's for the people, the practitioners in the aviation industry to really understand that this is a global business. Yeah, you had me talk to my partners this morning.
Yeah.
Sometimes they wake me up because they rely on us for information about Nigeria. Because, I mean, you buy an airplane, you can't insure an airplane of a $10 million, less the minimum, in the Nigerian insurance.
But you see, what I pick from that is when there is a problem, just one problem, is big enough to wipe off something else. Let me have you settled, so we continue from there. So for me, when you say special risk, it is big risk. And being in that industry, I can link that with your, what's it called, the ISO certification, because you can't play in that industry without having to go get that. Okay, so insurance, special risk, fair enough. All right, so welcome back. This is Lekan's office. Like I said, today we'll be with Lekan all through, and we're having very, very interesting conversations. But then before we got here, we're talking about your ISO certification. Do you remember? Yes. And we also talked about the aviation, the special risk. I need us to talk say some things about that some more.
Okay, yeah, so the ISO certification, well, we started that off like 2018. We have to subject ourselves to internal audits. By the way, do you want coffee?
Oh yeah, that'll be fine. That'll be fine.
Please, Kamala, please, can you get me coffee, please? Oh, thank you. Yeah, so coffee is ready.
Thank you.
That's my routine. When I get into the office, can you get me just one extra cup? Thank you. When I get into the office, you can help yourself.
Yeah, I actually.
I get into the office in the morning. I get my coffee. I try not to get addicted into coffee. You can easily get it.
It's the norm for an average, captain in the industry or any, where you find yourself. I like it black,
Oh yeah, I like it not totally black. Maybe with some sort of cream.
Wow.
Just to let it not be too strong.
A good way to start the day, actually.
So we're talking about the ISO. We started off 2018. Okay, first and foremost, I'll let you understand, my areas of specialization. Yeah. Which is
special risk,
energy, insurance, and marine. So I know this this area is an area that is very exclusive, and for you to really set yourself apart from the crowd, you have to up your game. You have to be able to subject yourself to some kind of audit.
Yeah.
You have to be able to, you know, do some kind of
So if I get you correctly, you're saying that because of the area you find yourself, it necessitated you having to get this certification,
well,
kind of.
Some businessmen will tell you it's not necessary. Maybe it's my own personal
Kind of your
way I get things done. My personal drive. I always want to, you know, make things to be excellent, to do things differently. You know, we started off in the car talking about my background.
Yeah. How you started learning from your mother, your father, and all of that.
My father's principles,
Yeah.
you know, of excellence, you know, integrity and all that. And my mom moral suasion and how I should get things done.
Yeah.
I should always think of the son of whom
Who you have.
I am,
Yeah.
and all that. So I guess those things actually helped to shape me, and it also helped me in a great deal in my thinking, in my thought process. I don't like just doing things in a normal way. I just like to make sure that I'm always setting that standard.
Okay, fine. So if I pick correctly, you this kind of person that pay attention to details. From all you've been saying, that led to even the kind of risk you go after. Because for me, that risk, if I'm an underwriter or if I'm an insurance person, it will be a no-no for me. The little I know about it. But the ISO certification, can you tell us the behind the scene, some of the issues, you know, trying to get that done?
Okay, first and foremost, we got certified by DNV. DNV is actually the Europe
certification standard.
Certification standard, which is also, of course, you know, when you're subjecting yourself to kind of standard, likes of Shell, Chevron, and all the multinationals have been through.
Yeah.
You know, it's definitely not a mean feat. Okay, you can actually still get certified by ISO, Nigeria. They're also standards. So, but when you are bold enough to say, okay, you want to go.
This is the one you want.
And then, you know, it's not. So it's a process of about 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah, we got a consultant, started looking at our own internal process. The consultant guided us on how we should do our things. We, as a company, weren't really doing badly in terms of our internal process. We have our
Before then, your risk management framework and all of that.
So it was just a function of us further subjecting ourselves to audit.
But what were the let's look at the break points in between. At some point, maybe you just felt like, can I see this through? So can you some practical?
Oh, okay. I'll tell you, honestly speaking, you'll get to that point whereby it's almost like, oh, why do you have to get into this? Come on. You know, this is not going to directly put money into your pocket. Somebody.
But I think it actually can put money into your pocket.
Yeah, at the long run. But what I'm saying that directly doesn't mean that now, as an insurance broker, you should busy yourself with
chasing transactions up and down.
It's not for you to then, because this audit is something that they'll tell you, okay, you must have your management process in place.
Yeah.
You must have your HR process in place.
Yeah. All processes, risk management. Yeah.
Your health and safety.
Yeah.
Your
everything.
You know, health, safety.
And it comes with budget. I know.
Your risk management, your HR policy.
Okay. So you were able to just muzzle yourself through all of that, and you got it done.
Yeah, the word muzzle might not be the right word.
Okay.
You have to really.
Okay. Talk to me. Talk to me.
So,
Talk to me.
You have to just get it done. There's no fast way about it. I told you, it's a minimum of 2 years for us. Some organization will tell you it took them forever,
longer.
4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
Or maybe because of our, medium-sized company, it might also be a factor. it might also be the fact that we have some of those processes in place
already.
So it was just a function of subjecting yourself into it. Then we got a consultant, like I said, who was able
that helped through that process.
to help us through the process. So by the time the auditors had to come from Europe, they saw all the lapses the first time. They made recommendations. They had to go back
and give you time to catch up in those areas.
Recommendations. You have to also do all those things, and they check. So then, and the way it's done is individual department. Your HR could be picked.
It's not like they're going to run through everything one by one. They can just pick anyone.
Sometimes they do that. They will first of all do that.
Okay.
But when they come again for the
they
audit,
just pick
just to check,
random
it could
check.
Be a spot check.
So
you know the spot check is what you don't prepare for. So that's where organization fail. And then when they do the spot check, they pick an error, they go back.
So much more will come on this show as we go on with our conversations with Lekan Ajisafe. We'll be right back. All right, so you're welcome back. Our conversation continues. Now I want to ask some questions that we can trace to your past life. I mean your past years. Knowing you one-on-one before now, I know at some point you were with Capstone as a MD. Would you say you left some landmarks there? You were with Gold Link, you were with Helma. And so now you have even oil service behind the scene, even if we see you as that broker. So I want to hear your learning points across all of this that can benefit our viewers, moving from one level to another.
Yeah, so like you said, I started off as an insurance underwriter. I worked with Gold Link as a fresh graduate. Then I thank my former bosses then that gave me that opportunity, to express myself, to showcase my ability and my talent. So I was just doing my own. I was just doing my own thing. I recall then at that point, Elmac used to be one of the leading insurance company in Nigeria, and we had all these big government accounts. I was at the life and pensions department, working with my former boss. There was a particular Christmas, most Christmas, because these are always
routine, yearly routine.
Routine. And then I had a very large printout of payroll of, let's say, Nigerian police, and my own job then is I have that payroll, I took it all, then the department will buy me one brand new computer, calculator.
Then
so it's a manual calculation. Imagine sitting down, you have to do calculation for like 70,000 policemen, the staff contribution and the employer's contribution to arrive at it.
So we can look at that at the very beginning, Now, how did you now move to that level of Capstone Insurance, and how did it happen?
So Capstone does not just happen from the blues. I would say that these are all build up. So build up in the sense that you have to learn. You have to learn. You have to be ready to learn. So there's no finished product without some processes.
There is no finished product without some processes, and one must be ready to learn if you want to be successful.
So I was opportune to work with some great professionals, insurance professionals. Maybe some of them then were visionary enough to see something in me, so they gave me that
opportunity to express yourself further.
Myself, like I said, it wasn't at this age of computer whereby, so maybe in the old department we have just one big computer, and there's a big printer to roll out the printout, like this computer printout, and they hand it over to me with a calculator a pen and eraser because I can make mistakes. So we erase it. So that's what I take home. And I remember a particular Christmas, the whole of the season, I couldn't go out. I was just locked up.
But what was your motivating factor then? Because I can as well remember your days of Mr. Biggs, moving around with your handkerchief, running into Mr. Biggs' toilet or something. Can you tell us about that? But the major point here is, what was it that was motivating you then? What were you looking at? What were you seeing ahead of you?
The same principle of diligence, integrity. So I have always learned that you have to be diligent in anything you're doing. You have a job at hand. So you have to carry it out. It doesn't matter whether this job is even taking too much of my time or so I have to do that. So I will not sit down and lazy about when there's job to do. So I recall then, even in Elmark, that my bosses, the managers, will always like struggle among themselves to say, no, I want Lekan to work in my department. That
interesting.
Yes.
Interesting.
I can remember that vividly. I won't mention names now because it's recorded. So, I mean, see, these people will be like, oh, no, let Lekan come to my department. I never knew.
Okay, well, I just adjusted my sitting posture now, and I have a reason for that actually. Now, I want you to tell me, Lekan Ajisafe, in one sentence, how would you describe that guy? And what are those elements that transformed him to who he is now? Because this now will now take us to how the journey started, the days of Gold Link Insurance, the days of Capstone, your vice chairmanship. Before we get to all of that, who is Lekan in one sentence?
Well, Lekan is just a simple guy that is just interested in doing things excellently. And I always like people to speak of what they know about me. And then also, like I was talking earlier, I'm also weary of perception. And then, for every man that strive for perfection, strive for excellence, you must also be ready to hear people's feedback about you. So I really don't always want to say, oh, this is who I am. I like people to be able to say, this is what we think about. So,
okay, but from what you just said now, if I'll pick one word, I'll say excellence drive you. Am I right from what you just said now?
Actually drive me. Excellence. Anything I do, I fear failure.
Why?
Oh yes, because I have an humble background. I don't want to go back poor. So
you don't want to go back poor.
I don't want to go back poor. So I like to do things in a way. I'm a self-driven person. I like to do things in a way that will always put me ahead. So, and then when you have that kind of thinking, naturally you are self-driven. And then you maybe inadvertently you are just driving towards excellence. So, so you can call it excellence spirit, you can call it anything, but for me it's just a personal drive to get things done right and not to never ever go backward. So that's for me. Because I came from a very humble background, I told you.
Somehow we have all of this.
Oh yes.
Well, this is the first thing I'm seeing again. At home I saw something like this, not this particular one. That shows family for me too. So
I'm a family man.
I know you don't have to tell me that.
I'm a family man.
Sorry, which is this? I can see something European, something.
Okay.
I can't touch everything, but I see you have some good collections of awards. And,
I have collections of awards, but this award is somewhat unique, and I used to tell people the most beautiful award is that is unsolicited for. You're just there and then you got a call or you got an email and they said, look, Mister, we think to see
You deserve this.
Or, because when I got the email, I had to actually ask
Confirm
them,
if this is actually real.
how do you get my details? And they said, well, probably you were nominated by your partners or something. They asked me, do I have anything to do with any European companies and others? So of course, I have partners in Europe. So they said, okay, definitely you must have been nominated by one of them. So then I calmed down. I say, okay, this one is not
It's real.
It's real. So they send us emails, they send us details. The award is going to hold XYZ date and venue was Barcelona in Spain. And then they sent us visa support. So we got visa and we went there and picked the award. That's the European Quality Award.
Wow.
And so that's it.
Quality, ISO, quality.
Yes,
quality.
and this award came before our ISO.
ISO.
Maybe somebody or some people already, looking at us, the way we do things, our standard.
And just profile you for someone that fits into that category.
That's what I was talking
Okay, so if you have to pick one of these books, I can see several of them. If you have to pick one of them as your favorite,
okay,
and you tell me something about that.
I think my favorite.
That saying has been there that leaders are readers.
Yes.
I'll
tell you this book. No, not this one. Where is anyway, my best books, I give them out.
Oh.
So that's the truth. Okay, let's talk about.
I can see Malcolm Gladwell there, The Outliers.
Where is it? That's what I'm looking
for. That's it. The guy that wrote Blink. Yeah.
This is the book I was looking for.
I think he wrote Blink.
Yes.
Yeah.
He wrote Blink.
That's Thinking Without Thinking.
You need to read this book. This book is actually a story of wealth and the people that made wealth in this world.
How they reason.
How they made it. So what Malcolm did here was to pick from the story of the Rockefellers of this world, Bill Gates,
Jeff Bezos are their new generation.
And he wrote something
the Vanderbilts, the Rockefellers, and the rest of them.
He wrote something about their lifestyle, what they have in common, their birthdays, how you can
and the implications of all of that.
How you can interrelate how these people. Bill Gates didn't just become a billionaire by accident. Bill Gates met some classmates when he was in the high school, and they were just youths.
Just trying their hands out on some things.
Trying their hands out on some things.
Right.
They were doing things in a way that, not knowing that this is going to become
way
well.
to success.
So I was talking about my own personal life earlier. That it's not like I set out to become a
successful
business owner,
or be famous or something.
But the first thing is diligence. All right. So the same thing with the Rockefellers when they started off to develop America.
Yeah.
Before they became so wealthy that they owned the likes of Chevron and all the
oil business, the steel industry, and all of that.
The biggest rail networks in the US or in the North America. So they just started off diligently. They were just doing things.
You're actually doing a book review already. Okay, so
yes.
Picking this alone, I can tell because it's a book that, I've also had to play around with it, a few occasions.
So you will read and read, and this has been my companion every time I fly out because I bought almost 3 copies of this book. Yeah, so whenever I want to talk to anybody about it, just to inspire them, I give you one of it.
Okay.
So.
All right, thank you so very much, Lekan. Well, viewers, you heard it all. You've seen him say his mind, to us the way it's been every day. But then, before we go, I'll ask him to tell us if he's got to say one or two things, trying to advise the upcoming generation, aspiring to be successful in life. What should they watch out for? Though before talking about that, I want him to just give us 1 minute. Your routine, your daily routine, what is your routine like? What are those things you do averagely on everyday basis?
Well, on everyday basis, like I wake up in the morning.
Just like this morning.
This
waking
morning,
up.
I have my quiet time, just to
Yeah.
listen and just set my my mind to God, pray, and then normally I come down. I could grab a cup
Of coffee
tea,
or something.
not
Okay.
coffee first, tea,
Okay, tea. Okay.
and then go back into my bedroom. Maybe if I have to, respond to
Messages on the phone.
on the phone.
Which was what I met you doing this morning.
Yeah, messages on the phone. Sometimes you get some very important calls in the morning you respond to, and sometimes before you even dress up, you have to respond to emails. If I have emails came in at night or midnight, maybe from Europe or America or Canada, these are all places that I have my
Transact
partners.
business with.
So then I know it has to be responded to quickly. I don't keep anything waiting. That my standard is
You don't
respond.
keep anything waiting.
I don't keep
So on the
anything.
road to success, you don't keep any.
No.
Okay.
You have to. So if you have to be successful, you must not. This is my table. My table is clean because I don't. Some of this document here is things that we're working on. I don't like to have
documents,
scattered
files
on my table.
scattered,
No.
okay.
So I try to deal with the issues immediately. That's part of the principle. Okay.
Okay, so in a nutshell, what line of advice would you want to give to viewers?
For
You
viewers,
know, maybe someone has been looking at, Lekan, that guy, insurance broker in that terrible part of the subsector, aviation, energy, and the rest of it like
I'll
that.
tell you, there's nothing terrible.
So,
In fact,
so say it to them. Say it to them.
The most difficult one is actually the easiest one. It's all about your personal, your personality. If you are the type that you never say never, you must always be diligent. You must be ready to face your fear. That's also something that I've learned recently. You must be ready to face your fear. I'll tell you, there's nothing you want to do, a big thing that will not come to you like, oh, this is scary. I can't do it. That's the first thing that comes to mind. But you must be able to look at it that, okay, let me face it.
Yeah.
Because once you face it, you win it.
Once you face it, you win it.
Yes, once you face it, you win it. So, 2, diligence. You have to be diligent in what you're doing. You must strive to get things done excellently. Okay, if you're able to set standards.
Excellence.
Yeah.
Don't mind me, I'm just speaking out those words as,
If you set standard for yourself, don't let the world set standard for you. Because your standard might even surpass the world standard. That is what has played out. So I personally set standard for myself.
And you go for it.
My personal standard later became
Best practices, kind of.
Yeah, so like in the morning, I could get call from the US, from partners. I could get from the UK. I've already spoken to 2 different
on the way here,
morning.
I experienced that this morning.
So that's my natural day. And I tell people that I do a lot at the same time. And it will just be like you're doing nothing much because of the way you get it done. So, and also you must surround yourself with people that work
Positive
with your,
people.
work with your vision. My workforce, excellent guys. These are guys that I'm always proud of them.
Great.
We all grow together. When we started the business, some years passed, and then some of them were just like, what you want to call junior staff.
Then, right?
Then, yeah. And they're all head of departments.
That's good. All right, you're welcome back. Like I said, today is for Lekan Ajisafe, so our conversation continues actually. He just mentioned to me he wants to step out. Where do you say you're going to again?
Yeah, actually have a meeting.
You have a meeting. Can I join you?
Oh, yeah. Come along.
So it's part of what we're here to see. So let's see what happens, huh?
My team members are waiting for me.
Oh, great. Great.
So,
Great.
let's see this stuff.
Okay.
Okay, please never come.
Oh, wow. Everybody well seated already?
All right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. So I have my friend Debo.
Good morning, everyone. Don't mind me, I'm interjecting, right? So I'm talking to Lekan today. Today is our day with Lekan, and he just told me we need to have a meeting. So right now I'll leave him and let him have his meeting. So we'll continue our discussions after this meeting, Lekan.